All right, moving on to a case in France which turns our attention to corporate accountability and war crimes. A French court delivered a landmark verdict against Lafarge over terror financing in the war-torn Syria. It found that the cement company was guilty of financing terror groups through its operations in Syria during the height of its civil war. The court examined years of evidence which details how Lafarge maintained operations at its Jalabia cement plant in northern Syria between 2013 and 14. The region was controlled by extremist factions, including the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant and al-Nusra fronts. During this period, prosecutors argued that the company paid around $6.5 million to armed groups. The money was paid in order to secure safe passage for employees and supplies, purchase raw materials from territories under the militant control, and keep the factory running despite international sanctions. The court ruled that these payments were deliberate, they were made purely for economic gains, and were in direct violation of European sanctions. Lafarge was fined $1.32 million. Additional assets worth $35 million were also confiscated. The company then faced penalties for breaching international sanctions as well. Lafarge reportedly invested around $800 million into a factory in Syria. These investments were made just a year before the civil war began in Syria. Now, while most multinationals had pulled out of Syria by 2012, Lafarge evacuated only its expatriate employees and left its Syrian workforce in place. The verdict did not stop at corporate liability. 8 former employees, including its senior executives, were found guilty of financing terrorism. Bruno Lafont, who's the company's former CEO, has been sentenced to 6 years in prison for his role in approving or overseeing the payments. Christian Herold received a 5-year sentence. Other employees were handed sentences ranging from 1 to 7 years, along with fines. The court made it clear that senior leadership could not claim ignorance because the decisions were made at the highest levels to prioritize business continuity over legal and ethical obligations.
This is a monumental warning to the entire community of multinational corporations that profit from armed conflicts around the world. That's why it's such a significant warning, and we hope there won't be so much business as usual after this decision.
Now, the ruling is only one part of a much larger legal saga. Investigations into Lafarge began in 2017. The company had already faced serious allegations beyond terror financing as well. In 2022, a French court confirmed charges linking the company to complicity in crimes against humanity. The charges were based on claims that its payments indirectly supported groups that are responsible for mass killings, torture, and enslavement. Although Lafarge has contested these allegations, this case against the cement company remains ongoing in France. In the U.S., meanwhile, the company admitted that its Syrian subsidiary paid millions to extremist groups and agreed to a massive $778 million in fines, making it one of the largest penalties of its kind. And it marks the first time when a whole company was tried for financing terrorism in France.